A lot has been happening, and it's been impacting our personal lives and our financial lives. That is what I'll be talking about today in Credit News. Okay, so welcome to Credit News, where I'm going to be talking about credit news. I will be talking about everything that has been going on and how it's all been affecting us, but I'm going to be talking about what I think is going to happen to credit cards. And I have a pretty good idea what will, since I'm going to base this on a similar circumstance that has happened. So if you want to hear all of that, stay and watch the whole video. Hi there, I hope you are all doing well wherever you are in this country. I know it's been very difficult, very rough for a lot of you, and I hope that you can continue to hang on. For myself, I am doing okay. I have been impacted by everything, but it hasn't been so bad. As you can see, I'm in a different location filming. I have, for the time being, decided to be located somewhere else with family, and I thought that was more important than where I was staying before. And this is why my whole studio setup is different. I'm still trying to work around everything, but for me, it's important to be in one place with my family. I have been quarantined in my house for 10 days now. I will be leaving tomorrow because I need to get some supplies, but other than that, I have been staying in, and that is important to me because in my life I am in contact with two people that are over the age of 65, so I want to make sure I stay healthy for them so that they stay healthy, and that's the choice that I'm making. The area I live in right now, they are asking non-essential workers to stay home, and that's what I'm doing. And I think for me that is an important choice. I do have a part-time job where I've lost most of my hours, and there's a good reason why. I will be working some hours this week, and that's good. But for the most part, I've been impacted with this whole situation. So I thought it was important today to talk about how these things are impacting everyone. As for myself, I consider myself very lucky because I actually lost about half of my income, but I emailed a friend last week and I said, well, I'm okay with that because at least I have something coming in, and I know a lot of Americans don't have that right now, so I consider myself fortunate. And I've just been trying to cut down my expenses right now to make up for that. But I know that I'll be able to just scrape by, and I'm very happy that I'll be able to scrape by because there was a time in my life where it was very difficult for me, and that was around the time of the housing crisis. And I actually, at the very end, closed on a home. Closing on my first home was something I was excited about. I worked really hard. I spent years saving money for a down payment. I had a 10% down payment, and I was ready to move in. And after I moved in, and I would say it was probably 2 weeks after I moved in, I lost my main job, and it was a good job. And after that, I never had a job quite as good as that one, and I no longer could afford my house. And I did have savings, and for a few months I was able to get by on that, but I was basically unemployed. So I can have an idea of what that feels like for people that have lost their jobs and they have rent and they have mortgages and they feel so overwhelmed right now. Even though it was so difficult for me, I was able to make it through. And it takes time, but it happens. You're able to be resilient enough to find ways to improve your situation. The thing I know now that I wish I knew then is that although you have to plan for your future, that's really important, future planning, trying to help yourself get out of a situation, I wish I didn't sit and worry too much about my future, because it caused me a lot of anxiety and stress. So if I can make any advice to anyone watching with a difficult situation, try to live in that present moment. Try to do the best you can each and every day, and slowly that'll start to build and things will start to get better. I'm telling you all of this because I went through this and it took a lot to get out, but I am doing okay. I learned a lot, and that's the thing. Sometimes you have to go through things to learn some things. And right now I'm doing okay, and I think a lot of it has to do with what I learned back then. Just try the best you can. Don't be too hard on yourself, and take advantage of what they're offering right now. There's the 2.2 trillion stimulus package that's going to help a lot of Americans. And if you don't know this already, if you're self-employed, they're going to be offering some help to those individuals, which in prior times, usually you didn't get any help if you were self-employed. So if you are self-employed, definitely look into what you have available to you. And if you're one of those people that are doing okay right now and you have a little to spare, consider donating to a food bank. A lot of people think you have to donate actual food, but most food banks take monetary donations that you can donate online, and that can help a lot of people that are going through hard times. It's people that were going through hard times before. You can believe that there's going to be even more people now that could use help. While there are people that have completely lost their jobs or are underemployed, there are actual people that are working even more than they had before, and you might be doing well. And to you guys, I want to say thank you, because not only the people in the medical field, because they're doing an outstanding job, but it's everybody else. It's everybody else, the essential employees that are going to their jobs every day. And you are keeping America running. So thank you. Okay, so how are you doing? How are you getting through this difficult time? Have you come up with some tips and tricks to help save money? Like I actually have one. Whenever I need to get something, I visit the Dollar Tree first. Everything at the Dollar Tree is $1 because they sell a lot of things that you could probably get that will save you money. And then after I would shop at the Dollar Tree, and I one time I think I bought about 18 items, and I think if I bought them at the actual grocery store, it would be $25 to $30. So I know by visiting the Dollar Tree, I saved some money. So after I finish shopping at the Dollar Tree, I'll go to my actual grocery store and finish my shopping there. Okay, we're talking about grocery stores, and if you have family members or neighbors over the age of 65, you might want to ask them if they need any help with grocery shopping, because if you're going to the store already, they might have a few items that they need and you could help them out a lot. Okay, so I'm going to share with you my predictions about credit cards, and I think I'm going to be pretty accurate because I lived through a similar time. I have been marketing credit cards since 2002. I am one of the first credit card marketers. I have literally helped thousands of people get approved for credit cards. Now, when I say this, I have been telling people about credit cards since 2002. So I've technically been one of the first influencers, if you want to use that term, about credit cards. I started in 2002 with websites, and actually my first video about credit was in 2008. The first video I did on credit on this channel was in 2009, and if you actually want to see it, you can see how scared I looked. I looked like my family was being held for ransom and I had to do this video in order to free them. That's how scared I was. And obviously now I feel quite comfortable doing credit videos, but I tried doing them a few times in 2009, and you can check out how great they turned out. You can apply for a card for people with less than perfect credit. Now, if you don't have any established credit, or you've had a little missteps along the way, these type of cards are a great option. Initially, they will charge a few fees up front, but if you consider the savings you can experience years down the line, they are worth paying. So then you're probably wondering, okay, then what changed from that time to this time? Well, I learned how to be less shy, and I started doing videos in 2018, and I've been making them since, and I appreciate everyone that's watched them, and I appreciate all my subscribers, because I really can't believe that I'm at a point right now that I have over 3,500 subscribers, and it means so much to me. So I've been in this space a long time, and I've seen a lot of things. And I told you about my story about having a home and losing my job basically 2 weeks after. Okay, so technically this is what I meant when I said I lost my job. What happened was I was marketing credit cards, and my income depended upon people applying and getting approved for credit cards. But what happened after the housing crisis was that the banks started to seize up on credit approvals. And when that happened, it meant I earned less commissions and I no longer could afford my house. I think this is actually going to happen all over again, and I actually know when I'm talking in generalities like this, it's because I do know a lot of people in the industry, so I can't exactly tell you what I know, but I'm going to tell you it's a mix. So what I'm going to tell you is stuff that I've heard directly from the industry and what I know myself to have happened. And what I'm going to tell you right now, the approval rates for applicants are going to drastically drop. You could be applying for credit, you will not get approved for, you will receive a hard inquiry, you won't get a credit card. And it's going to be because banks are going to increase their requirements in order to get an approval. And it makes perfect sense because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to apply for credit right now, and they're not in a good financial state right now. So they're going to be very careful on how much gets approved. Another thing that I think that can happen is that certain banks will suspend all credit card applications. So this is an example I'm going to use. Say if you have excellent credit, I mean top-notch credit, and you'd have no problem getting approved for the Sapphire Reserve card. Now, you might not get approved for a card like that. I actually heard that travel credit cards are probably the worst credit cards to apply for right now, especially since none of us are really going anywhere. So that's one reason, but it's a harder credit card to get. You really need excellent credit to get this card, and that's going to be a problem. So a person that has excellent credit like that would be better off applying for a card that has an easier approval, like the Capital One Quicksilver card. They'll probably have no problem getting approved for a card like that. Now, the other thing that I believe is going to happen is that if you can get approved for credit cards, your credit limits are going to be lowered. So, for example, that that person, that individual that could have had the Chase Sapphire Reserve card now applies for the Capital One Quicksilver card. Before, that person may have been able to get approved for a $12,000 line of credit. Let's just throw that out as a possibility. Now, I think that the credit line approved will be lower, and it might be something like $2,000. You still get the credit, you're just not getting the same type of credit line as you could have 2 months ago. That is my prediction. Customer service is going to be impacted in all industries, not just credit. You have to think of it this way. You have call centers. These call centers are filled, I would say, a minimum of 40 people answering calls. And now, with this all happening, whether the call centers are based in the United States or internationally, a lot of those are going to be shut down. My theory right now that many companies, not just credit-related companies, are scrambling right now to put up an infrastructure to allow their employees to work at home. By doing this, it's going to allow us to talk to somebody if we need to. Now, they're going to allow people, and community banks already doing this, and another bank that I bank with, the First National Bank of Omaha, they're doing this. They're helping out their customers if they're having trouble with making payments. The one thing I think that is not going to be affected that much are secured cards. And that is for an obvious reason. You have to put a security deposit. So the bank has no worry that they're going to lose money on this account. So if you need a credit card right now and you have less than perfect credit, I would say go ahead, apply for one of those offers, because this is going to help you build credit. You want to be doing something positive. You can spend these months impacting your credit positively so that you're going to prepare yourself for your entire financial life. So this will give you some months to work on it. Another couple of credit cards I don't think are going to lower their rate of approval. It's going to be business as always. Would be Credit One and the Indigo and Milestone credit cards. They will pretty much probably approve at the same rate, but that all remains to be seen. There will be, and you might even seen this with a few banks, maybe your local area banks or maybe a much larger bank. Some banks will opt to not even accept credit card applications at this time at all. So it depends on a lot of factors on what people are going to be doing and what the decisions are going to be made. But if it was my theory right now, they are already starting to increase the requirements of what people need to have as far as a credit score in order to get approved. Another theory I have, and it's not based on my prior experience with the housing crisis, I do think that credit cards are going to take a lot longer to get to you once they are approved, or if you have a credit card expiring. It depends on the credit card company, but how essential is a facility that produces credit cards? I don't know. And that might actually take longer now. They might have to have shut down production. So you might be waiting for a credit card for a really long time. If you are somebody who recently applied for a credit card, I'll leave a comment below if you were able to get it right away or not. I'd be interested in knowing. I know this is a lot to absorb, and you're probably wondering what kind of credit card, if you need it, you can possibly get right now. So I've recently updated my homepage, CreditFast.com. So I'm highlighting offers and ways that help people have the best chance possible to get approved for credit during this time. And like I said, if you need to rebuild credit, I really wouldn't wait until things get better. You're probably better off just doing what you would have done before. So check CreditFast.com from time to time to help you find a credit card offer right now. If you have applied for credit cards, let us know in the comments, because I know people here are going to be very interested in knowing what happened with your application, if you were able to get approved or not, and what credit card it was. This can help people a great deal. If you're one of the Americans that are going through extreme economic hardships, I would at this time avoid altogether applying for credit cards, because it's only going to add to your hardship. It's not a good time. Just try not to, I guess. You know, I don't know what's going on in your situation, but if you can avoid it, I would not apply for anything right now. Okay, so another credit card I think that won't be impacted too much by all of this is a store card issued by Community Bank, and that is the Carter's store card. Now this card is for parents that have young children, and the nice thing about this card is that it offers rewards and free shipping. We can all use free shipping right now. Also in that review article, I left the application link. If you're interested, it'll direct you directly to the Carter's website. I do not receive any kind of commission for this. I just think this is a nice credit card offer that some of you could benefit from. So you're probably asking what I've been doing during this time. Of course, I'm spending a lot of time with friends and family, but also I have been working on my website, CreditFast.com. I'm making improvements to that site. I actually manage that site myself. I don't hire anyone out to do that, so there are maintenance things I need to do monthly, so I've been able to catch up on a lot of that. Because I have all this free time now, or I wouldn't say all this free time, but more than I've seen in a long time, I've taken this time to learn new skills that can help me when everything, the worst has passed. And that's what a lot of people are doing right now. There's a lot of online courses that can help either help us learn new skills to get new jobs, or to improve what we're doing already in our careers. I don't know. Oh yeah, I forgot. I hired an assistant. He's a highly capable gentleman. This guy, he like works for nothing. And I literally feed him breadcrumbs. So I'm going to introduce you to him now. I know. Ha ha ha. But he is entertaining, and I know all of us right now, we've got our pets. They really do cheer us up. I hope you guys are all doing well. I know that this is a very difficult time for many of you. I hope you can continue to hang in there. So I wish everyone the best right now, and I hope we get out of this soon. Take care, everyone.